Salazar here with Broadcast Beat magazine. We've got a very special guest, Dr. Giles Wilson, head of TV compression with Ericsson. How are you, Doctor?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Doing excellent, doing excellent. So tell us about your recent SMPTE Fellow status announcement. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm very pleased about that. So I just recently learned that I've been elevated to be a SMPTE Fellow, which is quite an honor. So pretty happy with all of that.
Amazing announcement, and we respect SMPTE deeply. So you are the head of television compression. Would you mind telling us what that position entails?
Yeah, so I run the compression business at Ericsson. So we're very much focused on providing technologies for basically moving video from A to B, delivering video to consumers. So video compression products and systems to enable the best possible compression performance to deliver the maximum number of channels at the highest quality to consumers.
The compression that's involved with this, I assume this is for all things compression, sort of, that your role, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're delivering products to kind of blue chip operators, satellite operators, cable operators, IPTV operators, but also for studio links, news gathering applications, sports applications. So a wide range of compression technologies for a wide range of applications on a lot of different customer types.
Okay, and in regards to compression and cloud technologies, it appears that Ericsson is doing some cloud stuff now, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, cloud is a pretty big thing in the media industry right now, just like in many of the other industries in the kind of IT sectors. So yeah, we're looking a lot at virtualized encoding, taking the best of breed components for both hardware-based encoding and also software-based encoding, and bringing those together and unifying them under a single common architecture.
What's your involvement with, let's say, broadcasters, for example? Are you guys doing OTT or anything like that?
Yeah, we have quite a wide degree of engagements with the broadcast side of the industry. So that ranges from in the core compression systems, providing them compression solutions, both for their over-the-top solutions and also for their more traditional applications. As a wider company, Ericsson, we're also providing a lot of managed services for playout for broadcasters also.
And I assume that, you know, because you're dealing with compression, you're probably having to think about things like, you know, mobile devices, delivery to OTT, of course, and from facility to facility transportation as well of media files, right?
Yes, it's all those kinds of applications, and we've really seen an explosion over the last 3 or 4 years of the number of types of compression that we have to do, mainly because we have all of those traditional applications on the studio link, the professional side of the business, if you like, but even going to the consumer, more consumption on mobile devices, more over-the-top delivery. So on one end of the scale, you have the kind of lower resolution, small device delivery, but even expanding at the other end of the market as well as we look forward to new technologies like ultra high definition and 4K.
What's the biggest market that Ericsson serves? I'm sure it's broadcast, but as far as technology-wise, what's the most popular thing that you guys are doing right now?
In terms of the TV space, you know, I think we're seeing a lot on the over-the-top services actually, and additional services. A few years ago, those were kind of just additional side carriage services that some of the operators were launching, and now they're pretty fundamental to the consumer experience. So a lot going on in that space. And in terms of a wider organization, of course, Ericsson most famous for its work in mobile technology, so that's a huge part of the overall Ericsson business. But I think specifically for media, it's over-the-top services.
In regards to Media Vision 2020, would you mind telling me about that?
Yeah, so Media Vision 2020 is really some work that we have done where we're looking out towards the future and what TV will look like in 2020. I mean, every year we get a little bit closer. It was a little bit farther away we started, but we're looking at different areas of the kind of TV and media delivery chains, various aspects of the business models and the technologies, and, you know, really looking at what it could possibly look like out there in 2020.
And when I look at your website, I see another thing about cloud DVR. I assume that involves the OTT environment. If you could explain that, I'm just curious. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, so the cloud PVR, what that does is that enables you to run, or the consumer to use PVR or TiVo type services, but rather than depending on a hard disk in the actual device in the consumer's hands, actually when they record, it actually records in the cloud. So that content is stored in the cloud. That means they're not dependent on having the hard storage in their device, but also it's more accessible on more devices.
I'm even noticing that you guys have a CDN. Is that a service?
Yeah, so we have a lot of CDN type technologies, particularly targeted at the media space. What we're really recognizing is that a lot of the IP traffic globally on the fixed line networks and also on the mobile networks is really dominated by traffic which is carrying video. So we're looking at a lot of ways to try and optimize the delivery of video over those networks, and both for on-demand and for linear services, and really trying to allow people to get the best out of their bandwidth and most efficiently use those networks at the same time as providing the consumer with the best possible experience.
Okay, and if you could, tell us about LTE Broadcast and Ericsson and how you guys have play in that.
So LTE Broadcast is really a method of adapting the cells in a 4G mobile network to deliver a broadcast version of TV services. And we've been working with a number of companies such as Verizon to pilot those kinds of services, really not for traditional TV broadcasting, but more for special localized events where, so for example, if we're in a soccer stadium, we can take all of the mobile cell sites, mobile transmitter sites around the stadium and switch them into a broadcast mode to allow everyone on that campus to actually see live footage of the game.
Ericsson Media Room. Would you mind telling me about that? It looks like it's a personalized television experience.
Yeah, really, Ericsson Media Room is the full middleware solution for over-the-top and traditional IPTV type services. So it's everything from how you provide the content, how you deliver the content, to the consumption and the user experience in the home. And that's the technology that's currently being used by AT&T for their service.
Thank you so much, Dr. Giles Wilson, Head of Television Compression at Ericsson.
Thank you.